Welcome to the Vinny Rock Podcast.
Much more than this, I did it my way.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Vinny Rock Podcast coming to you finally. I know I've been kind of out of the loop. I've been moving houses. I've been setting up, getting prepared to head to LA. Also working on a new business out here in Salt Lake. So many different things that I'm working on that I wasn't able to focus on the podcast. Now that I'm going to be in LA, I'll be taking all my gear with me, and I'm going to try and set it up so weekly you'll have a podcast every Friday with someone new or just myself in LA, and it should be a good time, and I'll keep it more regular for you guys. I'm sure the sponsors will appreciate it. I'm sure the listeners will appreciate it, and it'll make my life a little easier to get the content out and to you more regularly. First, let's talk about our sponsors, Willie Pete's Chocolates. If you guys don't know, Willie Pete, he makes these chocolates out of his own fucking house. It's amazing what he does. I love them. Some of the kids like a few of them, but they are spicy. Some of them have different levels of Scoville units, if you will. And he has them marked on the labels. Freaking interesting shit, man. Go check it out, Willie Pete's Chocolate Co. C-O on Instagram. If you want to go directly to his website, that's williepetes.com. That's WILLYPETES.com. Go check him out. Veteran owned. This guy's a fucking badass, and the chocolates are amazing. Next, we're going to talk about Combat Flags. Combat Flags, it's combat_flags on Instagram. He's got a huge following. He does some cool stuff. Essentially, he's a veteran who wanted to do more for the community, so he started making these little flags out of uniforms, and it tells the story of the uniform that was sent to him. So I have one from a corporal in the Marines. I'm going to find it. I've been packing, so it's so much all over the place. But it tells the story of each individual. We're probably going to... I have some DCUs of mine. I've been holding on to them. I think I'm going to send them to him for a good cause, to raise some money for some charities, and just go check it out, man. These flags are amazing. It's Combat Flags, combat_flags on Instagram, and then it's combatflags.com if you just want to go directly to the website. Again, all my sponsors have the same promo code VinnyRock, VINNY ROC for 10% off. Go check it out. Another one, a new one that just jumped on board, is Dog Tags Decal. Dog tag decals. And so it's on Instagram, it's going to be dog_tag_decals. They do your stickers, whatever stickers you want, they can knock it out for you. Dog tag decals, go check them out. If you guys want to go directly to the website, it's dogtagdecals.com. Dogtagdecals.com, and you could use the same promo code for your 10% off. Check them out. I love those dudes. I know it's just gone over some changes, and they're just freaking kicking ass, and I'm excited to see what they do in the near future. Last but not least, this is a different one. So my buddy, he hits me up and he goes, look, man, I make these custom grips for 1911s. And he does them for law enforcement. He doesn't for anyone, really, but he does a 20% discount for law enforcement. He has an extensive history in law enforcement. Also, a career Navy medic. And he's just doing his thing with the K-9s now. And he's just he's a law enforcement officer who's doing his side business. But I think it's taken over. His side business is actually freaking pretty awesome. Go check out some of these hand grips he does. You can check it out on Instagram. It's Burkett Customs. So BURKETT Customs. BURKETT Customs. I'll put it on the Instagram so you guys can check it out. But if you're a 1911 guy and you like to see some cool-ass pistol grips, he does custom gun grips and knives. Okay, so not just 1911s, but I've seen it on a lot of the 1911s, and fuck, it looks awesome. Go check it out, guys. Burger Customs, doing his thing on Instagram. Hit him up and let him know that Vinny Rock sent you. All right, don't forget, we also have our normal sponsors. You got Warfighter Tobacco. I'm going to be heading up to LA, hopefully getting some good motorcycle rides with my boy George, and smoke a bunch of cigars with Emilio Rivera. He's a huge cigar guy. I can't wait to bring him some Victory cigars. I told him I'll bring him some. I don't want him buying them. I'd rather sit there and smoke some cigars with him. We already talked about doing a podcast with Emilio Rivera. That's one of the guys from the Mayans. If you guys don't know, he is one of the coolest guys I've ever hung out with, so I'm excited about that as well. So the Warfighter Tobacco guys are going to be out there a little bit, hanging out with them. Several other cool projects down the road. You guys know True North Motorcycle Company. That's growing. Got some plans for that. I'm potentially going to be starting a barbershop here. We're just waiting on a few more things. I'm getting the paperwork done today. Once I hang this up, once I finish this podcast, I'm heading over to Salt Lake City, applying for the business license, and we will have a barbershop here in Salt Lake City. Yes, I'm starting my own barbershop. I will be doing my apprentice program as well. So hopefully soon I'll get my license, and then I can be done hustling and just focus on a barbershop and a few other little companies that I own. Really excited about that. It's something I've always wanted to do. If you guys don't know, that's why I got into the beard product stuff. That's why I got into the shave stuff, is because I really enjoy cutting hair. I just never had the time to get my license. So soon, that's what I'll be doing. Oh my goodness. Okay. So, dude, today is one of those topics, man. It's tough. I want to talk about a few things. I don't have a lot of time, so this is going to be a short one, but I want you guys to think about something. The majority of my listeners are veterans and law enforcement. And so in saying that, we all know the crazy, crazy stuff that's going on right now for the gun-loving, gun-toting individuals. And the controversial subject of gun reform, gun control, or even if you believe that we even need that. Recently, obviously, we've had several events. We are the only country that has these kind of things occur as often as they occur. But in my opinion, there's multiple different levels of this, and I'm going to try and hit them. I was going to take notes so I can stay on task, but I just rather just shoot from the hip and speak. First off, we all know these kids, David Hogg and the other individuals that were part of this terrible event that happened in Florida are speaking out. They want enough, right? Hashtag enough. They want to see a change to the gun laws, gun reform, and a lot of people that are jumping on board and promoting with them are talking about they want to get rid of assault rifles. They don't think that the civilian culture should be allowed to own one of those because they don't see the need for it. Whew, man, this is one of those subjects, man, that I'm going to tread lightly on, and I'm going to explain to you at the end why I have to tread lightly on this. There's a lot of things at stake here, and I want you to know, here's my views, and here we go. So first of all, we know these kids, they're young. They're 17 years old. They have their opinions, and I think personally, there definitely is some political agendas behind promoting and pushing and helping these guys have their voice. But here's the facts about what we do as Americans, like what we have, the abilities to do this. They are doing a peaceful protest. They are voicing their opinions. They are using the First Amendment to speak on what they believe. And does that necessarily mean they know what the fuck they're talking about? No. Does it matter? No. Here's what I see happening right now. I see the gun reform, the people that are, I guess, anti-gun or not supporting of gun laws have a voice. Whether it be that they're allowed to have a voice, whether social media and mainstream media don't use guys like me who are pro-gun as a voice, they've just gone heavy on the other side of the fence. The gun control advocates are having a voice. Whether they're 17 years old, whether they're 4 years old, they have a voice. Right now, they're speaking their mind, and a lot of people are listening. Why? Because we live in a world filled with lemmings. We're living in a world of lost people that look for something to follow, and they see that they have all this passion towards this argument, and people follow. I was frustrated with the idea of the walkout because this wasn't a student-led walkout in Utah. And I can't speak on other states. I try not to freaking assume other things. But in the state of Utah, this was a school-regulated event. The school was part of it. And in my head, that is not a student-led protest. That is actually a coerced event that was put on by the schools. And so when the schools are starting to jump onto the political arguments, I have a problem with that. When you start telling my kid, hey, we're going to walk out of school for the 17 minutes and tell them, well, it's out of respect. But then the rest of the world knows, what is that identifying? The rest of the world knows they're walking out of school to protest gun control. But then my daughter says, no, Dad, they were doing it out of respect. Well, there's an issue there. All these kids are out of school. The world is watching on. And so now you're using my kids as propaganda to push your belief systems on gun control. And that's not okay. My kids were raised by me. My kids were raised by an ex-Army Ranger, an ex-drill sergeant, an ex-law enforcement officer, an ex-corrections officer, all of which I was special operations. I was 75th Ranger Regiment. I was Boar Star attached to BORTAC, my career in freaking the Border Patrol. I was special operations response team in the prison system. Everything I've ever done is special operations. I was trained in using guns. My kids grew up in the cereal. And when you go to get your spoon and cereal, sometimes there's a magazine just sitting there. Why? I don't know. I've just emptied my pockets and dropped a magazine there. There's no threat in that, right? Because there's no gun that's attached to that. I just drop them out of my pockets when I come home from work. And so the kids have never looked at guns and ammo as a threat or even a form of curiosity. That's just the same thing that goes with my wallet and my keys was my gun, right? I've always been responsible with my gun because that's what you do as a gun owner. Or at least that's what I would hope that most gun owners have, is the responsibleness of putting your guns in safe places so your kids can't get, locking them up when you're not going to be around them, and making sure that the gun is separated from the ammo, especially in an event that your kids might get a hold of it. They have to, like, there's all these little things that you do as a gun owner to make sure that your kids are safe, two, that if you need your gun in the necessity, it's readily available and easy to use. So, when the school has my kids walking out to support gun control, gun reform, it bothers me, right? And I even asked my daughter, I was like, what's the protest about? Well, one of my daughters was like, well, it's out of respect. I was like, okay, baby, I get it. If you're walking out there for respect for those kids, I get it. But you don't understand that you were just being used. You were a puppet. And then my oldest daughter, she goes, no, Dad, I don't agree with it. And, I went out there for a second, and I went back to my room because I just don't agree. People are walking out because of the protest, but I don't think it's guns. I think it's actually bad people doing bad things. And I was like, okay, I agree with that statement. I'm not going to influence my belief systems on her, but I agreed with that statement. I think there's more to this. I think this is like a 7-layer fucking cake, right? I don't think the world can sit here and say it's a gun issue. I don't think you could pin it only on a kids and security issue. That's another topic. I don't think you could blame it on only mental health. I think this is a collaboration of our society slowly coming down on itself for all the different things. All right, hey, let's talk about this bullying. You know what happened when there was bullies when we were little? When I was little, you fucking fought them. You punched them right in the fucking face. And then that bully became your buddy. And you're sitting there eating lunch together for the rest of your fucking life. And anyone else trying to bully you guys fucking kick their ass too. Bullies didn't really exist. After a while, the bullies were done. When someone stood up to a fucking bully, that bully realized, like, man, it sucks getting punched in the fucking face. Maybe I should just be a good dude. So then you have very few kids that are dealing with the bully issue when I was younger because we just fucking kicked their ass. Right? Or someone else stood up for you and kicked their ass. I fucking fought a lot of fucking bullies for other people because I could fight. So then the bully thing's irrelevant. I went through an epidemic in high school, in junior high and high school, where kids were committing suicide, and it was super sad. And it was super interesting to see. It was kind of this epidemic. One was committing suicide, then another one in another school, and then another one in another school. And it became almost like a chain of about 12 different kids committing suicide for whatever reasons. And people didn't talk about it back then, like, oh my God, there's something wrong. Like, no, there's always going to be something wrong in society, right? There's always going to be these issues in communities where kids follow. I think it's made it worse that social media is the tool that's given me the life that I have today. Social media is also a weapon that is being used to support people in their crazy fucking antics. You've given a voice to the idiots who do dumb shit. That's not the smartest thing we do, right? Like, why can't we put a law in that says, hey, if there is an active shooter, let's not release their name or their picture. Let's just fucking call it a wash and say, hey, here's the news. Here's the situation. No one's going to know who the fuck it was because it's no one's fucking business. That's part of the investigation. But again, you're not glorifying a fucking idiot doing stupid shit. That guy fucking gets forgotten about. Fuck him. Put him in the dirt. He's gone. Now you continue on with your fucking mission and how we can fix and secure the schools. See, we use social media to market companies. We use social media to grow your brands. We use social media to get exposure off of fucking viral videos and whatnot. But other people see it as, we all want to be fucking famous. Everybody wants their fucking 15 minutes of fame. And if you don't fucking believe it, trust me, I've fucking seen it in the 6 years I've been doing this shit. People will do the dumbest fucking shit to get attention. People will fucking lose all their dignity to get someone to fucking like and fucking share their post. And so when you see these kids that are lost, that have mental illnesses, that are bullied, that are pushed aside by society because they're different, that are maybe homosexual in a community that doesn't agree with that, all these kids are looking for their moments to shine. And when you see these fucking idiots do these stupid shootings and then the world glorifies them in a manner of, here's their picture, this is what they've done, and now you've left their fucking image imprinted on society's fucking head that they have a name for themselves, even though if it's a bad name, they still are known. And that is the fucking issue we have with social media in the United States of America. I think we fucking shut those motherfuckers down. We don't show their face. We don't even fucking publish their fucking names. We just say another fucking shithead did something fucking stupid and now he's fucking 6 feet under in the dirt. Fuck that motherfucker. Let's move on and continue to secure cities. For some reason, we give them a name, right? His name is Robert Paulson. It's like, for some reason, we give him a fucking name. Like, fuck them. They should have no name. They shouldn't even exist. We shouldn't identify that because now you have a bunch of copycat motherfuckers that want that same glorification. And we have a little bit of an issue, right? I think that's one of the issues is that alone. We're giving them notoriety and fucking something that we should not. All right, the world should fucking cease to exist. That fucking person, that they never existed. They're gone. They're done. Wiped off this planet. Thank God, and fucking let's move on. But for some reason, we like to share stupidity. Hey, make them famous. This guy's he's a fucking stolen valor. Let's make him famous. Like, how about not? How about you don't give that kid what the fuck he wants and give him attention? You just fucking let him fucking wither up and fucking shrivel away. I think the biggest issue we have here, and something that we need to identify early on, is the fact that our kids are not safe. All right? Are they safe? Are they not safe? But why don't we have an armed fucking cop, law enforcement officer, at every school? Why can't they just do shifts of just fucking being at the school? Some kind of rotating schedule where they fucking circle the school so you know that you have a gun handy if needed. Yes, then you have to make sure that the cop's actually going to be willingness to get into an engagement if the fucking operation fucking happens. But you know what you're also setting up? You're setting up deterrence. If somebody knows that there's someone in that school with a gun, they're probably going to hesitate to go into that school with a gun. So you're setting up deterrence, which is a big thing, which is a huge thing. It's posturing, but it's important. It's important, one, for the students to know that they do have protection in the case of fucking some shithead walks in that school and wants to shoot them. And two, you have a law enforcement officer that's supposed to do his fucking job and is protect and serve, and most of them, fucking 90% of these motherfuckers will go in there and risk their lives for fucking any of our kids. So maybe that's the first thing we need to do is worry about our kids. The most precious cargo we have, the most important things we have in our society is our kids. And we don't have them fucking protected. So I think that's a big issue. Then you have the argument of the guys that are saying, well, you know what? We have all these fucking homeless veterans. And all these homeless veterans should be there to give them a job. Give them a job and they can protect ours. Let's be honest here. Let's be fucking brutally honest. I can't tell you that there's that many veterans that are going to be great at shooting a pistol or a rifle. Okay? Like, not all veterans had a job where they were trained, highly trained and proficient with their fucking weapon. So I think that answer is not a good answer. I think if you put anybody through a training fucking system for 6 weeks, a 7 weeks, an 18-week, whatever, training where they're learning how to use their weapon proficiently, aim at targets, aim small, miss small, all the fucking basics, and maybe a little bit of use of force, well, then I would trust that person protecting my child. But I don't trust a fucking transportation fucking specialist to all of a sudden know how to handle his fucking rifle like a fucking badass in a fucking close quarter conditions where there's kids running around scared as fuck and he's going to take an accurate shot. That's just not the truth, right? Like people outside of the military fucking forget that there's people that are not combat arms, right? There are people that are not highly proficiently trained on how to use a pistol. They're not. I sat there as a drill sergeant for many fucking years, loading and unloading other fucking M4s for these fucking kids to fucking qualify. Nope, that's wrong, Private. Negative, Private. The magazine's the wrong way, Private. You gotta put your weapon on safe, Private. Point that thing in a safe direction, Private. Come on, guys. Let's be honest. Not everyone in the military knows how to shoot a fucking gun. So that's not the answer, okay? Someone said fucking raise the taxes on guns 5% and then fucking use that extra money to train more people to fucking protect our kids. Okay, that's a good argument. I like that argument. Arguments like that to me make sense, right? It sucks to fucking raise taxes on anything because fuck, they've been raising the taxes on that, on fucking tobacco, and everything else just to fucking make money off it. But it is what it is, right? If that's what we have to do to get more jobs to protect our kids, I'm fucking good with that. Whatever the fuck you want to do to protect our kids, I'm down. But it better be a smart answer, because not every fucking veteran knows how to shoot a gun. So let's just throw that out. How about you just put someone through a fucking training system? Let's give the teachers guns. I don't know. I think it's important. I think if a teacher has the skill sets and goes through a training course, why the fuck not? Let the fucking dude carry a gun. Let the female carry a gun. If they're trained and comfortable with their fucking pistol, why wouldn't we? Do you think a teacher's going to turn around one day and fucking smoke the kids? If you think that, then that motherfucker shouldn't have a job in the first place. Well, then it goes back to a fucking mental issue, right? Then it goes back to fucking mental health. We have so many fucking problems. This 7-layer cake of fucking drama doesn't have one answer. It's a lot of fucking answers. We've raised a society that has fucking credited and given validation to people who do stupid shit through social media, through the news. We've raised a society that doesn't have the willingness to fucking engage on the bullies when need be. Engaging meaning throwing a fucking punch. We've raised a society to tell your kids, like, it's not okay to fight if someone picks on you. Bullshit, motherfucker. Talk to any one of my kids. If somebody shoves my kid better shove them back. If somebody punches my kid in the fucking face, my kid better punch them back. It's meet force with superior force. Hey, man, my kids have to survive this fucking world. I'm not going to allow them to mentally be beaten and abused by other kids and give them the, hey, you have no right to protect yourself because it's not okay to punch people. Fuck you, man. We're in a society where you got to survive. It's the fucking survival of the fittest. And the reality is this. Mentally and emotionally, these kids have to get through the fucking day. And if you're not giving that kid the tools and let them know your parents support you if you have to fight someone to protect yourself. In that same sense, this is exactly what I tell my kids. If you need to protect yourself, you fucking do it. If somebody punches you in the face, do not run and tell the teacher. I would punch them in the face first, then go run and tell the teacher, hey, this is what went down. Johnny, you fucking hit me in the face, so I fucking knocked out his teeth. Game, said, match. Dad's coming to pick me up. We're going to get ice cream. You're fucking right we are, kid. Because once dad is not here, who's going to protect these kids? If I'm raising victims, all I can expect is them to have a life of hardships. I'm raising kids that are willingness to engage for other kids as well. My daughter knows if someone's picking on a girl at her school, she better stand up for them, because that's the Vargas way. We stand up for the people that are weaker than us and people that are not willing us to engage. People whose families didn't teach them to defend themselves because it's their fucking right. It's their fucking right to defend themselves, man. Goodness, if someone's going to sue me for fucking my kid punching another kid in the face, well, I'll get a good-ass goddamn lawyer and fight it. And I might lose and I don't give a shit. My kid's going to fucking have the self-esteem to know that fucking dad's got his back to protect himself. Not to fucking hurt anyone. You still got to disengage. You punch him until the fucking dude fucking stops and then it's done. And then you went next week, you guys are fucking sharing lunches and fucking bullshitting about fucking girls or whatever the fuck. We have an issue here. And it's bigger than that. I don't think we have a gun issue. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't believe we have a gun issue. We have a lot of people speaking on guns that don't know anything about guns, that never grew up in the culture of guns. So they're terrified of guns. And so they speak on guns as the biggest dangerous thing. I get it. You don't understand our culture. You don't understand our world. And so you're scared of it. And you have every right to be, because you don't get it. But if you give us an opportunity to show you how safe guns actually are and how important they are to a society to protect itself from its own government at times, if need be, not even just government, just protect itself. Why can't I own an AR-15? What's wrong with it? If I'm a law-abiding citizen, I own an AR-15 because I want to own an AR-15, because I like to shoot an AR-15. Why is it so bad? If I have no intentions of hurting anyone else, like, what's the issue with having a gun? Right? It's just my belief system, right? That's what I believe. I have an AR-15 sitting in my closet upstairs. Why? Because, I don't know, maybe the world's going to go crazy one day and I have to protect myself, but maybe I just want to go to the range and shoot some long-range crap. Maybe I want to take the kids and take them hunting. Whatever I want to do with that thing, I feel like I should have the right to have it. And, there's arguments there, right? If somebody wants to take those from me, look, if this shit hits the fan and all AR-15s are freaking removed from United States of America because whatever reasons, okay, let's just say that did happen. Then what? Well, then I'm going to go get a shotgun. and I'll have that in my house, and I'll teach my kids how to shoot with a shotgun, and I'll learn to hunt with a shotgun, and I'm still gonna have something to protect my house. And if anyone doesn't know what a shotgun can do, the shotgun is the scariest rifle in my opinion, because what that can actually do to someone is hamburger. You know what I'm saying? Like so it's funny. The world is confused. They're blaming the tool, and it's wrong, right? They're blaming the gun. There's so many different variants to that gun. Somebody says, well, go full auto. Hey, man, if you're a fucking combat dude, and a combat arms guy, and you shot your rifle on full auto in a mission, I'd be surprised to hear that story. I'd love to hear that story. And if it is, I would tell you the only times I was ever trained to shoot that fucking rifle on full auto is when all shit hit the fan, and it's like, here we go, broken arrow, motherfucker. We're gonna die. Put it on full auto and fucking hold the trigger down and fucking unload to the tidal wave of fucking enemies that are approaching my area. That's exactly what the concept is, right? I'm gonna fucking go fucking metal to metal on my fucking big guns, all right? And we're gonna fucking put a wall of lead so these guys can't fucking invade my space, and we're just gonna spray and pray. Never 3 combat tours, and I can tell you, I can fucking put a list of all my friends together in fucking special operations, and there's probably less than 1%. I'd say 0.0001% have ever pulled the fucking trigger on full auto in a mission, in combat. The only time I've ever fucking pulled that thing in full auto was in fucking at the shooting range, just because fuck it, why not? We got rounds to burn. It's the most inaccurate way to fucking shoot. It is the fucking most ineffective way to shoot. When you're in combat, you're trying to save your rounds. Why do you think they teach infantrymen 1 shot, 1 kill? Because you should be deadly accurate with your fucking rifle. Because you're highly trained. Okay? Full auto to me is fucking worthless. I like shooting it with friends and just fucking, you know what I mean? But like, if that's the argument, like full auto, it's like, come on, dude. Let's be honest. If you're fucking really well trained, you're not going to use a fucking rifle in full auto. That's just a waste. Because you're going to take fucking 20 rounds to hit a target. Because it's going to fucking right up their fucking, you're going to right up the target. Say you're shooting at a silhouette from the bottom of it, from the ass end all the way up to the fucking head of the fucking target. It's going to be fucking rocking if you can't control that rifle. And it's just that concept to me, like, no one's talked about that at all. Like, full auto is fucking a waste of time and a waste of goddamn money, because rounds are not cheap. That drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. This whole thing. Here's the other thing. All these fucking pro gun guys, all my, like, a lot of friends, a lot of guys, like, where's the guys that are pro gun with a solid argument? Where's the guys with the pro gun that aren't just throwing memes out there? Look, man, we're fucking 25 all the way to 45 to 55-year-old fucking dudes throwing out memes about these kids. Let the fucking kids speak. Like, are you mad at them for fucking having a pedestal? Why don't you fucking create one for yourself? Why don't you fucking put together an articulated argument and help the situation instead of fucking looking like immature idiots? Why aren't we fucking putting together the strongest goddamn fucking argument and fucking combating them fucking with our voice? Using our social media platforms for good and not evil. Using our social media platforms to educate and not fucking not talk shit like another fucking kid. I think we're lost here, right? There's a confusion. You're not winning the argument by throwing out a fucking meme. That's childish. Like, I haven't put out anything in that sense because it's like, why? Why would I bash these fucking 17-year-old kids who fucking, in my opinion, don't really know what they're talking about, but hey, they have the right to fucking voice their opinion, and they're out there fucking doing it. And then the only thing you have on rebuttal is a fucking meme war. Come on, man. You're not making us look good. You're not helping the argument. You're not helping anything. Instead of just fucking looking like a dumb fucking gun-toting idiot. Like, we're better than that. We're smarter than that. Right? We have to represent the gun community, the pro-gun people, better than a fucking meme war. We have to have somebody with a huge following, and not mine because it's not huge. We have to have people with notoriety, with attention, and with a voice to speak on this subject that's articulate, that is intelligent, that has a strong rebuttal to why we have the right to keep our rights. Like, it's crazy. You can't just sit there quiet and assuming that fucking, don't worry, it's going to blow over. No, it's not. It's not. You have we're fucking it up right now because of the fact that we don't have someone speaking on our behalf that's intelligent. Instead of fucking, like, everyone's like, what's an AR stand for? Oh, fuck. Got it. A lot of these people don't know. What's an assault rifle? Yeah, got it. A lot of them don't know. A lot of these gun haters or people that are scared of guns don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. That's not the argument here, right? Like, they don't have the knowledge in guns, obviously, because they're not growing around them. They're not in the culture of it, and I get it. But what else do you have? What's the other trick in the bag? Because I'm asking you guys to help us here. I'm asking you guys to voice a stronger opinion than a meme. And what does AR stand for? Look, man, it's the hardest argument come to date for a community like us. It's the hardest argument, and the worst thing is that we have nothing to come back for them. I think the Colin Neer, whatever his name is for the NRA, I think the way he approaches it is very intelligent. I think he does a good job. The funny thing is that guy is not an infantryman. I mean, that guy is not a combat arms guy. That guy is not a fucking law enforcement officer. He's just a gun supporter, which is fucking awesome. But I think that guy needs a tidal wave of other people, other law enforcement officers, other pro-gun supporters, other combat veterans who have an intelligent conversation to back their opinion. I can't tell you that I feel like I have an intelligent conversation behind that because I would need to know more. That's why I don't speak on shit. You have guys that are gun supporters that fucking outburst and rage the moment they can instead of sit back and watch and learn and listen and fucking educate themselves on situations, right? Like, why aren't we sitting there and researching current gun laws? Why aren't we researching current mental health fucking regulations in Florida? Why aren't we researching all these things and then developing a strong argument and then throw a rebuttal through social media, through fucking video, through blog? Why aren't we doing that? Why I don't understand. Because it's easier to just fucking find a meme of a kid and fucking send it up on your fucking social media? Dude, you're not helping the case. You're dividing it even more. Because we look like fucking monkeys who don't listen. Instead, we're more intelligent than that. You know, I just believe we're more than that. You'll never see me bashing some other kid. I'll tell you what, here's the facts. Does my kid have rights in my house? I have a 15-year-old daughter. She's turning 16 soon. Does she have rights in my house? Yeah. She's got to say. She could say what she wants. And you know what I have the right to do as a father? As a guy who fucking pays the bills here? As a guy who supplies her with everything she fucking has? I can say no. I have the right to veto that opinion because I'm fucking dad. Yes, and they can cry and complain all they want. Dad, I want to go on a date. No. Dad, I don't want to go to school today. I don't give a shit. You're going to school. Dad, I don't like guns. Why? I have the right to tell them that because they're fucking kids, dude. They're still minors. Okay? Look, these kids that are out there speaking on gun control and gun reform and all this stuff, I don't know where their parents are at, but obviously their parents support the situation. And that's fine. Good. Good on them. They're allowed to do that. But if my daughter was out, I'd be like, hey, when you're 18, you can choose whatever the hell you want because then you're an adult. Then I don't have to support you via financially, medical insurance-wise, anything. And when I stop supporting you financially, when you're not living under my wing anymore, well, then you're an adult. And you can choose to live your life however you want. Doesn't mean I'm always going to be proud. It doesn't mean I'm always going to support it. If you do some really weird shit, I can't support. But at the same time, you're my kid, and I'm going to love you no matter what. And once you're 18, you're an adult, and you can live your fucking life however the fuck you want. Okay? But until then, until you're out of my house and paying your own fucking bills, nah, I have the right to say, fuck no. I have the right to say, no thank you, ma'am. That is not going to happen. Not in my house. Not today. Not now. Not ever. Because that's my right as a fucking parent. Okay? What did I do at 17 years old? I did nothing right. I'd absolutely ask my mom. She'd be like, oh, you're a mess. I know. I was a mess. I got kicked out of 2 colleges by 18 years old. And I was 18. I had a kid already on the way by 19 years old. All right? I freaking couldn't fucking stay eligible in any freaking sport. I couldn't fucking pass any goddamn class. I was just a mess. And you think I could put together an intelligent conversation on a debate such as important as this? No. Personally, no, I wouldn't. And I couldn't. But, that's me, And look at me now. I don't know. It's all stressful. It's all frustrating. I'm going to leave you with this, man. I'm going to leave you with this. This is something that's important. If you're not paying attention to the news, if you're not paying attention to the political stances on this, I think you should. I personally I'm the type of individual that researches both sides of the argument and trying to come to the conclusion and personally what matches me. What works best for me and my belief systems. I'm never going to push far left. I'm never going to push far right. I'm always going to sit there in the middle. There's some things on the right and there's some things on the left I agree on back and forth, all right? So I'm not going to tell you I'm fucking pro this, I'm pro that, I'm pro this. I'm this. In my house, I have guns. Do I ever want to give up my guns? Fuck no. Okay, I don't think I have to. I think I've been a law-abiding citizen this whole fucking time, and I'm very well trained to the point where I'm generally safe. And in the case some asshole tries to show up at my church, at my kid's sports game, or at my own house, I have something to combat that. And this is my views. This is my life, and this is my family. And I choose to protect them however I do. My kids all know how to put on a tourniquet. Why? Why? Because they need to be trained for the worst events ever. The one thing that they can do, at least at their age, is put on a tourniquet and stop the bleeding. On their own, self-aid first, then buddy aid. This is what we're taught in my household. This is what they know. My kids that are out of elementary, the junior high and high school kids, have tourniquets. Look, you might look at me and think I'm a crazy motherfucker, but here's the truth. My kids are not victims. They're also not raised in a bubble believing that this world is filled with hugs and high fives. Their father has seen some of the ugliest things you could ever imagine in this life. And I refuse to raise my kids to be naive to this. They have to know the world was filled with crazy. And what does crazy look like? Crazy looks like everybody. There is no fucking look for crazy. Crazy could be dad. Crazy could be grandma. Crazy could be brother. Crazy could be friend. Crazy could be the fucking librarian. No one knows. And you have to live in this world understanding that. If you don't understand that or don't believe that, well, then you're not living. You're sitting in this world with fucking two blinders on and have no fucking clue. Because this world is filled with child molesters, with rapists, with murderers, with terrorists, with shitty fucking people. And my older kids know that. And so they're prepared. They know how to say no. They know how to defend themselves. And they know how to apply a tourniquet in the event the worst fucking thing happens. But if you're not preparing your kids, I believe you're leaving them in the dust. You're leaving them hanging without the knowledge that they need to survive. We're in a world where it's hard to teach a kid street smarts these days because we don't allow them on the streets like we used to. Because it ain't fucking safe. But if you give them the knowledge, if you give them the truth to not be naive, you're essentially building their own street smarts at home. And hey, man, you don't have to agree with me in any of this. This is how I raise my family. This is how I raise my kids. And this is my life. And I choose to do this. If you guys are out there and you guys are pro Second Amendments, man, then fucking voice your opinions, please, intelligently. Be a stronger voice for the community. I don't care if you have 4 followers. I don't care if you have 100 followers. I don't care if you have 20,000 followers. You need to voice your opinions eloquently. Have an education behind it. Think about the process and not just throw a fucking meme up because it's funny and you'll get a reaction out of your pro-gun friends. You're not helping the argument. You're making us look bad. And you're an adult. I'd say we act like one and actually put our foot down and start having a good conversation about this. People don't understand guns. They're going to be scared of them. All right? I'm scared of rattlesnakes. I'm terrified of them. I don't fucking understand them, and I want nothing to do with them. But I'm sure if I got to learn them, I'd probably love the motherfuckers. Either way, whew, these are my thoughts. These are my views, man. I hope you guys agree. And if you don't, it's all good, man. I'd love to have a educated argument discussion about it. Hit me up. My name's Vinny Rock. You know that. You know where my Instagrams are. You know where my Facebooks are. You know exactly how to reach me. I answer every fucking message that comes through. You guys, I love you guys. Thanks for listening. And please, if you guys are pro Second Amendment, man, let's have a stronger voice out there than a meme. I'm out.